Welcome back to the Leading Edge, Conversations with Saskatoon's Leaders. My guest is Sarah Wheelwright. So tell me about the Women of Distinction Award. How did that happen?
It makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable talking about the awards that I personally have won, because I don't see me as myself individually. So that one was a surprise. I didn't apply for that. I was kind of surprised by the nominations and thrilled when I got these letters of support from friends and clients and business associates of mine. But it was a little bit perplexing when I read those letters of support. And that was because they saw me in a different light than the reality, really. I mean, it was very flattering to read them. But they said, the theme within it was, they said, I made it look easy. Going from events to, being a mother to, I've got three children. My twins are 7 and my son's 10. And, running a business and doing all of this community involvement and stuff like that. And when I got up, I didn't really expect to win. And when I did win, in this wonderful TCU place, and I'd been for the last few years again because I thought it was a great event, and all for all the right reasons. So I hadn't really planned to say anything, but when I was thinking about the possibilities if I did by fluke win, what I would say, that was a thing that was kind of bugging me. So when I got up there, the first thing I did was actually apologize, because it's not easy, and I think that by letting people think that it is easy, I think that's not a good thing for anybody. It's a constant juggling. There's plate spinning going on all over the place. There's plates dropping. There's sacrifices that you have to make, mostly yourself, especially women. I mean, we tend to put ourselves right at the bottom of the totem pole, which in the end, all that's going to happen is you're going to be a stress ball, and you're not going to be able to handle it, and you're going to fall apart. So, that was my first thing. My kids, have frustrations with me. I can't make all the hockey games because I've got an event, or I'm emceeing something, or I'm, going to be in Regina, or we're in New York, or something like that. And there's a lot of apologizing, but also just being open and honest. And it was great to be the recipient, but I think it was also important to make sure that people understood that it wasn't all being a business owner and hearts and flowers. It was a lot of hard work, 70 hours a week, 20 pounds this year I've put on, which is a good excuse to go shopping, but I don't want to give up yet. There's a lot going on, and it was wonderful. And it's great to join a list of fantastic, successful Saskatoon women. But I got a lot of emails after that acceptance speech, people saying, thank goodness. Thank goodness it wasn't easy, because it shouldn't be.
Well, I think that says something too about leadership, that leadership is not easy.
No.
Because it's this fluid thing that keeps moving around. It
is, and I think that the most confident and the best leaders will admit, as I said, that they don't know everything. They'll ask for help. They won't, people who get stuck at a certain level in life are ones that think they know everything. I know I don't know anything. I never will know anything, so I'm always going to be open, I hope, to learning off everybody. Gosh, my children teach me things every week. So it can be surprising where your education comes from.
How would you describe your leadership style?
I would say that I'm a tough person to work for, in the sense that, I'm always going to expect people to work hard for me. But I think I'm fair as well. I try to really appreciate my staff. We have self-development days, and I only have 5 staff, so it's not like I have a lot, but we do spa days, self-development days, vision boards, taking them to sales conferences. I invest a lot in the people that work for me. I appreciate them a lot, but I also expect, a lot back. Honesty is very, very important to me. And I think that as a leader, it's important to lay out exactly what you expect. I think anything that's kind of a grey area, you got problems.
Yeah, the clearer you are, the better it is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Black or white, and right from the start. I think certainly in the past, 4 years, I've learned a lot about hiring and firing. You know, I still don't like firing, but I've got to, you know, that's something that has to be done. I find it very uncomfortable, but again, it gets easier every time that you do it. And hopefully I'm going to get better at hiring, so I don't have to do as much firing.
But that's the other aspect of leadership too, is that there are pieces of it that are very nice, very pleasurable, enjoyable, but there's other pieces that you don't necessarily like to do, like
Yeah.
firing people, making tough decisions,
Yeah.
you know.
I think so, and I think that you can delegate people to do, you know, your accounting, and you can delegate people to do, you know, your administration and stuff like that. But I don't think you should ever delegate somebody in an organization to do stuff that you're scared of. I think that should be something that you should get over. Once you're not scared of it anymore, fine, delegate away.
Do you think there's such thing as a perfect leadership style?
Now, probably mine. You know, I think that the leadership style is perfect. It depends on the personality from the other way. My leadership style might be horrible for somebody that, you know, is not a good fit with me. I have been doing more and more kind of Myers-Briggs analysis on myself, on my team, on people, and that's made it really a lot easier to understand. I mean, we all are going to have problems with certain people, and it's not really the people, it's how they are, how they're wired. And I think once you understand that, you don't take it so personally. But I also think you have to understand that, you know, fundamentally I do things the way I do them. And if people are the opposite of me, never going to be a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Looking back, is there anybody in your life that is an influence for you from a leadership aspect? Somebody that's a model or a mentor for you?
I've got to say my father has always been a great influence. He's a very fair man. He actually was an entrepreneur himself and been a judge in England, and you know, passing sentences on people in the community. I mean, that's a tough thing to do, and I think that, you know, he always has a good moral compass, and that's something I hope that, you know, I have as well. I think that's very, very important. And also kind of, you know, a number of, I said, of bosses, you know, that I've worked for. I do read a lot, so there's people that I haven't met that have had influence on me, the likes of Richard Branson, you know, and people like that. So I would say that it's an ongoing thing. I wouldn't say that somebody was an absolute shining light and I focus everything, because if you just take from one person, you're missing the whole show.
So all leaders have something to offer.
I think so. I mean, you know, again, you know, there's some great leaders that have been for bad. You know, you look at the likes of Hitler and Stalin, and you know, they had great leadership qualities. You know, they must have done to instill that passion in people. You know, but obviously, you know, that's not where you want to end up. But they certainly had something. You know, so I think they were both great speakers. You know, so if you can look at, you know, how they got the crowds excited and instilled that passion, and people like Margaret Thatcher, who love her or hate her, I mean, she was an amazing leader.
If somebody came to you and said, I want some advice on how to become a better leader, what advice would you give them?
I think I would probably ask them, if they're not a leader, why they want to become a leader. Because there's a lot that comes back with that question. If you just want to lead other people and tell them what to do, then you're probably not going to be a leader. If it's something that you're really passionate about and it just happens to have a leadership role, that's going to be, you know, a better thing for you, because you're really going to enjoy what it is. And in that way, the passion that you transfer from yourself to your employees or the people around you is infectious.
Do you need to be a CEO or head of an organization to be a leader?
No, I don't think so. I think that you are what you repeatedly do. So if you want to be a leader within your organization, I think that first thing you have to do is be one, you know, in your own mind. Act like one, you know. One of the things that I've had, you know, I guess issues with is maybe people who want to walk right into a leadership role without putting the dues in. You know, and I think that, you know, you really have to be that person before you're officially recognized as that person.
Sarah, thank you so much. A fascinating conversation. Enjoyed your perspectives on leadership.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. My guest was Sarah Wheelwright, and you're watching The Leading Edge: Conversations with Saskatoon's Leaders. Thank you for joining us on The Leading Edge Conversations with Saskatoon's Leaders. I hope you found today's show thought-provoking and interesting. If you'd like to learn more about leadership or have some questions for me, please send me an email at dave@highperformancehr.ca. I look forward to hearing from you. Until then, safe journeys.